When I talk about experiential learning, I refer to a process that develops knowledge, skills and attitudes by consciously thinking about an experience. It involves direct and active personal experience combined with reflection and feedback. The process is therefore very personal in nature, involving feelings and emotions as well as enhancing knowledge and skills. Perhaps a good way to summarise this is Kolbs' Experiential Learning cycle, which moves from experience to reflection to generalisation to application. One way I try to induce the learning process is by way of a biodiversity game. In this game I place the students in small groups. I tell them to imagine they are living on a small island state sometime in the future, say around 2050. I say I will shortly give them one of 4 possible scenarios that describe the way they will be living in that future. First though, I give each student a card describing technological or lifestyle changes that have affected everyday life over the last 20 years and ask them to consider where we will be in another 20 years. They discuss these changes in pairs. I then give each of them a card looking at drivers for change. Again, they discuss these in pairs. I now hand out the scenarios. These are related and I explain each in turn. Essentially, there are 2 axes. One moves from a point where there are plentiful resources through to a point where the resources are depleted. The other moves from an individually oriented society to a more socially cohesive society. I also give each group member a role to play in their group scenario. After individual reflection, they discuss these roles in their group. Finally, I hand out wild cards which shock the scenarios, for example wars or epidemics, and I ask the students to reflect again on how this might affect them in their roles. Throughout, the students are asked to make notes of their thoughts, and at each stage of the game they are asked what the consequences might be for biodiversity. The game takes about 2 hours, and I've used it on my Level 7 course for 4 years now. The students respond well with lots of discussion and commentary. Feedback this year, 2014, included, "Good game, makes one think beyond the obvious. Scenarios are harsh, but it makes you think about the world in a different way. It's a good way to broaden our thinking." I don't think I can ask for more than that.